Greetings to all around the World Wide Web. Welcome to Collectors Connect episode 2, brought to you by the VeVe Collective. I'm your host, Dino, and today we have a roundtable discussion with various members of VeVe. I'm going to kick it off to Osman to introduce himself. If you guys want to just round robin and go through and tell us who you are.
Okay, I guess I'll lead this off. G'day, everybody. I'm Osman Collect 63. I am the elected president of the VeVe Collective, and also the host of VeVe Wednesdays. And I'm happy to be here amongst all my fellow VeVe members or VeVe community. Let's go with that.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Go D, go D.
Hi. Oh, hi.
Go Dee.
I'm D one and only, aka D. Hello everyone.
Short and sweet. I love it.
Nana?
Hey everyone, it's the Real Hinano from the Real Uncommon podcast. Thank you for having me here today, guys, and I'm looking forward to getting into this conversation.
Ayo, it's Evolved from Evolved Collects. We're chilling, having a good conversation about everything VeVe, geeky. Who knows? Let's go.
Nice.
How's everybody doing? This is Kid Arcade, and I'm host of VeVe Arcade on Sunday mornings.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and I
It
just
was
want to
so good
start off by saying congratulations, Kid Arcade, on 1,000 subs. Super awesome, man.
Yeah.
I was surprised it took this long. VeVe community was sleeping, but yeah, I'm so happy for you, bro. And yeah, I love your content, love your art, amazing stuff. So thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
And happy birthday to the both of you.
Yeah, we've got 2 birthday boys in the house.
Hey,
Kid
Thank you.
Arcade was yesterday, and Osman is today. So
Can I say something? Can I say something? I'm going to just say something real quick, and maybe someone else can join us. You guys, happy birthday to both of you, and I just kind of want to say happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Cha cha cha.
Oh, nice.
Birthday, dear Osman and Arcade.
Kid Arcade.
Happy birthday.
Birthday to you. We just broke everyone's ears.
Yes.
Make a
lots
wish.
of candles, guys.
Blow
Make
the
a wish.
screen.
Woo!
Hey,
Excellent. Love it.
who
You
actually
guys-
got it out? Was it Osman or Kid Arcade? Who
I
blew
think
that one
Osman
out?
got it. I think Osman blew it out.
Yeah,
No,
he was closer
I think,
to the.
I think it was a joint effort. Joint effort.
It's a joint effort.
It's a real
You guys
cake,
pay
so
attention
it's
to
gonna
your
eat it.
mails. Pay attention to both your mails. Something's coming in for the mail for you guys. So watch
Oh,
out.
mate, you were too kind. You're too kind.
Birthday
both of you.
present.
Oh, to
Also-
us? Me too?
To the both of you.
Yes.
Pay
What?
attention to the mail.
I said. So your kindness has no
Well-
limits.
We'll leave it at
Worship.
Wish you guys.
I do want to
Thank
actually
you.
shout out because we've got a bunch of content creators in this stream right now. So obviously, Kid Arcade, you got VeVe Arcade, right? Evolved, check out his YouTube channel, and then the Real Uncommon podcast. Dee and Hinano do that together. They're sporting the gear right now. It's looking great. So
Looking good.
if you haven't checked out one of them right now, I highly encourage you to do so. And then also, as Osman said, he hosts every Wednesday night, 8 to 10 p.m. Pacific. We got Twitter Spaces called VeVe Wednesday, so feel free to join us. We'd love to chat with you. But
Also, don't forget to add yourself in that as well, mate. You also
Yes.
co-host with me.
yeah, they have been there. I've been there. So it's been a lot of fun. It's always someone new, getting to know people on a deeper level, great conversations. And that's what we're hoping to have here. So to kick it off today, this morning, we just had the Waitlist, right? The debut of the Waitlist finally happened, and we had the VeVe logos. Did anybody land anything? What was your experience with the drop? Osman, want to start us off?
I went for the waitlist today, and I got the big L on both of them. So basically went into the waitlist. They did the process. And the process seemed pretty good. So come 30 minutes before the drop, hit the button, says, "Yep, you're in the waitlist." I was like, "Cool." So I just sort of waited in the countdown, and went 3, 2, 1, and sort of did like a little buffering thing, and then came up with a note. So you've you haven't been selected. So that seemed pretty straightforward and seemed pretty cool. I was like, okay, I can get down with this. On the second one though, the second time was a bit different. Did the same process, same thing, but when it went 3, 2, 1, go, it came up with allocating and the little buffering wheel, and I was like, oh, I started to get like really excited. I was like, whoa, I might have actually got something here. And it just kept buffering and buffering and buffering and buffering, and did that for a whole 5 minutes. And when the 5-minute marker came up where you're supposed to make your payment, it basically came up with red and just said, no, you failed to pay, and then it just sort of disappeared. So it was like, well, it didn't really register, and yeah, just basically got kicked out. So I was like, oh, that sucks. But on the bright side, I still got gems to play with on the Tuesday's drop, the Spider-Man 29.99 drop, which I'm quite excited for.
Nice. Yeah.
But yeah, other than that little hiccup, I thought the whole process was quite good.
I agree.
I was expecting something a lot more catastrophic, like with Palm's first day or something like that.
Oh gosh. Oh yeah, you didn't have a good experience with that either.
No, I had a very bad. I had a very salty experience with Palm. I mean, I've shared it on other streams, so I'll just share it very, very briefly. Basically, I went for the Superman drop. It told me I minted the Superman drop, and it said it was minting. Yep, you've got it. And it never turned up in my wallet. And then it turned out they over minted on some of the mints that they promised people. I just happened to be one of those people, so I missed out on the mint. And as a little worse, sorry, they sent a Black Adam comic in its place, saying, "Here you go. Here's a free Black Adam comic." I was like, "Well, that's cool. They gave me a free comic. No worries. But it's not a Superman #1, is it?" It's like, no, it's a Black Adam #1. So the value, no comparison.
Not the same, yeah.
I sort of veered away from Palm after that, but so I just stick mainly VeVe.
It was like a Nifty's drop all over again. I don't know if anyone tried going for the Matrix drop on Nifty's.
No, I didn't.
They kind of the same thing. Same happened to everybody.
So it's not so bad over here in the VeVeVerse then, huh?
Yeah, compared to other places, not really.
Don't you all feel alive?
Yes, yeah. I mean, to be honest, when I first heard about that that whole thing, I didn't actually know what the hell was going on, because I first heard it from MC, and he was like really upset about it, and I was like, at the time I had no idea what he was going on about, so I just had to look up on it, and then realized, oh yeah, it was that whole thing that Paul Barron was talking about, saying that VeVe's dead. I was like, oh okay, well I can see why he's upset, but yeah, I don't think VeVe's dead at all. I think it's just warming up. I mean, like, you know, this community, like, you know, is just not going to let it die at all. I mean, there's just so much energy here, so much positivity. We've got a few pockets of, like, you know, FUD and negativity, but the majority of it is in a really good place. And every day is a progression, whether it just be something small, and it might not be going as fast as people like, but it's still going in the right direction.
Agreed.
It's
a fact that it's not dead.
Absolutely not.
They're still making money, and we're still here. So, like, that's not even debatable.
That's it. Well, put it this way: if we are dead and now we have Capcom, I want Resident Evil. Let's get some zombies up there.
There we go.
If VeVe is dead, then why did the logo sell out? Their own logo, the VeVe logo. It's specifically sold out. And so my experience on the logo, Dee and I had to get up at 4:15 in the morning over here, just to get our first big L at 5 o'clock. And then the second big L at 6 o'clock. I ended up getting the the green logo for 58 gems in the market, and then I ended up getting the gold logo for 92 gems in the market. I'm just kind of holding it because, I mean, if you really look at it, they are pretty scarce. You know, each logo, and it's also VeVe's IP, so they can do whatever they want with that. And I know we're just kind of like assuming there's going to be some utility versus the one VeVe logo that has utility already, but why wouldn't they put utility on their own product, right? Speculation.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I thought I would have a better chance of getting the one at 6 o'clock, because it had more editions, but no, double L's on both.
As soon as the 5 minutes were over for the waitlist, it was gone completely.
Yeah.
You had no chance.
Yeah,
for the public, it had no chance.
Yeah.
Although there is some upside, I would say, because I think the waitlist worked for like bots. A lot less bots in the marketplace that I saw. I don't know. Anybody see anything different?
Do you guys think now that this wait list is here and it's going to kind of stunt the bots a little bit? I'm just going to say a little bit. You think we're actually going to see true value now? You know, will the floors be higher than they are now because collectors or just like, you know, the people in VeVe are actually getting them?
Yeah, maybe.
Possibly. I know. I think it's still too early to tell.
Still a lot of flippers.
I'll just go out on a limb and say, yeah, I think so. But I think we could also see not as many sellouts then. I don't know. It is a tough one. It's hard to say, but I just shooting from the hip, I would say yes.
Didn't David say only some of the drops right now will have this wait system versus some of the other ones will still kind of use the old blind box, you know, shoot them by the buy now. So yeah, it's be interesting how they're gonna, you know, balance the two, and then people are gonna complain like, oh, well, you know, we should have done the wait list for this one. Oh, we should have just done the regular, you know, blind box shootout for this one, right? Then you're gonna have that. So
yeah, I think for any case, no matter what the drop is, half the people will be happy, half the people will not, depending on whether it's the wait list or just blind box. You can't please everyone.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
I think the best thing you can do is just be convicted and go forward with their plan and not be so wishy-washy. If you're unsure about something, then do a feedback survey ahead of time and field the interest from the community. But if you just go out and do something and then you change your mind and then change again just because people get upset, then it just looks terrible. So I think if they have their mind made up now, just go forward with it. Tough luck, people. Get used to it. Like the logo, the new logo, when they did the heart and everything, they got a lot of backlash. A lot of people didn't like it. But now I don't even think about it. It's normal to me.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's right. I think it was just too much of like a little bit like a shock value, because everyone has got so used to like, you know, the logo that they had, and they just went around and just swapped it like that, and everyone's just like, well, hang on, like, you know, I'm used to seeing this all the time, so it's basically programmed in like into like my subconscious, like, and that's part of my routine, because every time I log into VeVe, I see that logo, I'm like, oh, that logo's gone, the company's like going to zero, what's going on? Whereas like, you know, if you're going to change something, usually you should try and do it slowly and over time. That way it gives people time to adjust to it. But you know, once everyone got past like, you know, the little shock value of that, it seems to have grown on everybody now, and everyone seems to be quite happy with it. And now you don't hear anything else about it.
The logo's sold out, so
exactly.
People must have liked it enough.
Yeah.
What about you, Paul? How was your experience with it?
Kind of the same thing. Got in the wait list. When came time, I didn't get accepted or whatever. Tried going for the rebound, so to speak, and nothing landed. It was cool. I mean, it's definitely a smooth process. It's nothing like glitchy or anything like that. I just personally don't like to wait. I like the old system. Just tap and buy. You can and then you can move on with your day. You don't have to like wait to go for in the market, this and that, you know. I don't know. Yeah. It's quicker. I think it's quicker without the wait list. Another thing I think that would be cool is like if you are in the wait list, a notification for when it's time to mint would be cool.
Yes.
You don't get one? You don't get a notification?
No, you have to be in it. I think you have to be like in it to get the notification. It wouldn't like come up.
It's a little banner at the top, right?
Yeah, like it comes up when you're in the app, but like say you're out of the app, lock your phone, you don't get a notification from what I saw.
Oh, that's terrible. I didn't know that.
I tried it out. I wanted to try it out. It was cool. You can close the app and go back in, and you were still waitlisted. So it was cool. It works.
Okay, how about you?
For me, I don't know how to feel about it. I really had a good time with it this morning. One, the logos, right? I was supposed to get one during DCon last year. So when we got those promised to us, we were still in the original logo. So I'm a little salty that it's not the original logo. You've given that out to the gold one, and prior to giving it to the DCon people, I think that we should have gotten the original logo in the original colors. I'm not mad at the new logo. I get it. The wait list was a good experience for me. I expected to have a worse experience as far as wait time goes, but it was fairly quick. You know, the wait list ended, and within the 5 minutes, you know, you got it whether you got it or not. It wasn't like you had to wait a half an hour, 45 minutes. I think that was cool, right? Because you knew off the bat whether you got it or not. It wasn't like you had to wait too long. The notification was cool because something that I never liked about VeVe, or that I wish VeVe had, was a notification when your items got delivered after you bought them. So like when you buy an item, I don't want to sit there and keep refreshing my page to see if I got it or if I received it. I think that the notification aspect is a cool thing that they should implement with more things. If you sold an item, I mean, we get those notifications, but when you get your item delivered, maybe you get a notification. And as far as the logos go, they're very scarce. They're very scarce, and I think that right now we take it for granted because it's just the same pool of little people that were here. But once we start getting numbers, those logos are gonna start flying because there's like about less than 1,000 for each one. So obviously the best I did not get any of them on the first or the second drop. I ended up getting the blue and yellow white one at 105 gems, and there was like 3 or 4 of them underneath it for 80 gems. And I don't know why I didn't buy them, because I knew that those were, in my mind, my prediction was 300. So when I saw them at 100, I bought one, and I just sat there looking at it, and it just never came back down to 1. So, I love the logo myself. I think that I don't think I'll ever sell it, and I'm gonna try to get some more, especially with that blue and white one. Yeah,
because that's the official logo, right?
Yeah.
So, and that represents the entire company that we all love. So
it's iconic.
It's like getting a Marvel logo,
right?
It's like something like that. So
yeah,
that was it was a good experience overall, I believe. So shout outs to VeVe. Good job. Good job.
Yeah.
Good job.
Make some noise.
Make some noise.
Round of applause.
So the one that you got, were they better mints than the ones that were lower than it? Or
yes, I got a mint 707.
Oh,
nice.
And I like those because upside down is LOL.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
You have a 707 collection?
No, I don't. I have I collect some comics like 444s, 222s. I collect same numbers or just weird. I just collect weird stuff. But yeah, I like good mints. I like good mints.
Okay.
Nice.
I like mints too.
Yeah, look upside down. LOL. That's cool.
The mint hunter over there agrees.
Yes. I love. I like. I don't know. Mints are just like completely like you have to have some liquidity to get some certain mints. Like today, should I talk about it? Happy Tree Friends. The year they released was 1999, and I was able to get 2 out of the 4 of those mints, 99. So I'm pulling a leg here on those, but I'm happy to have them. And that's my next goal, is to have all 4 of those 99. That's my thing right now. But other than that, I don't know. Low mints are cool. Special mints, palindromes. I don't know. Something about mints in this space is just like, it's got me going crazy now for numbers. Like I want 710 because it's oil upside down.
Yeah, well, I suppose in that aspect is like, with that sort of aspect of it, it's like it's unique to the individual and gives everyone so many different options to collect. So like you could go after like your palindrome mints or your descending numbers or ascending numbers, binary mints. It's just like it just caters to the individual's need.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's enough for the. I mean, did you see the guy with the 444 collection? He has like 150 collectibles of all 4s. Like,
So like, wow,
that's a lot right there.
I was trying to sell him some stuff.
Yeah, you got some 4s.
You got some 444s.
He never responded. I hit him up with a few pictures, screenshots of what I had, and he never responded. So that's a hard no. That's a hard pass.
But yeah, overall, I had a good experience with it. I think the only thing I don't like is I was wondering how they were going to, once you know whether or not you got it, how you're going to pay and how rebounds were going to happen. So I think that kind of fleshed itself out, right? So you have 5 minutes after the drop time to pay for it. And then if not, rebounds are on the 10-minute mark now. Is that what I heard?
That's what I heard, yeah. Or like right before.
5. I got it at the 5.
It was
I got it at the 5-minute mark.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
How did you
On
do
the
it? Did
first
you
drop, it was
exit
10
and go
minutes.
back?
I just kept refreshing, and then finally it came back. But the problem was when I hit the buy now button, it must have been like a fake buy now button because I tried to process and then I have a buy error after that. And I went through that like 3 or 4 times on the second drop. So, yeah. But that was at the 5-minute mark.
You actually saw a rebound and you should have been able to get it, but there was a bug.
From my understanding from Spaces, you could have gotten it if you were quick enough. Yeah.
Okay.
So I just wasn't fast enough.
Yeah, me neither.
Now, do we know how many people actually got on the wait list?
No, there's no like queue system or anything like that, so you don't actually know how many people.
I think that would be a really nice touch that they should add. See how many people are in the wait list, because it'd be good to know that. And
we could see how many people are active too.
Yeah.
Right. Can you do that? Can you do that on a wait list versus a queue? Because I know on a queue you can.
Isn't it the same
I don't
thing?
think it is, because isn't a wait list like you actually get like whitelisted to get the thing, and it's all randomized, versus a queue is not randomized. It's like literally however you went in.
Yeah, I don't know.
I have no idea.
It's technology. Maybe. They have to have a way.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
They have 25 minutes to know who's in that wait room, right? And then the program goes through it and randomly selects them. So they got to know how many are in there. And I would be curious of how many bots actually got in.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
And it would also give the individual, like, a bit more information whether they want to spend that amount of time waiting in the queue, and thinking because if you don't want to wait around in the queue if there's 100,000 people in there waiting as well, because my odds of getting it are not overly great. But if you're one of 20 people, then I might wait around this queue and not waste my time, because I know that I actually have a chance of getting this, as compared to I've got no hope whatsoever. So just giving people that little bit more information and giving them a little bit more informed might help as well.
But if you don't have the amount of people, then you wouldn't know, so you wouldn't be bummed out anyway if it was too many people.
So something that I noticed about doing the wait list is that when I didn't get it, because I didn't get the drop, when I didn't get it, I didn't blame myself for it. I was okay with it. When it's the buy now button, it's like, oh, I messed up. I hit the wrong place. I was always blaming myself and feeling a certain type of way about it. But because it was a wait list and it was out of my control in a sense, I didn't feel too upset about it when I didn't get it. I'm like, oh, it is what it is.
Yeah, so there's a level an emotion to it.
Yeah.
I also feel
that's interesting.
Like it should be more fair, and because not everyone in New York is getting it, or I got the newest, fastest internet now, I'm gonna get it. So and this should help people from around the world that are in the cold spots in terms of
MC.
Yeah, well, I know there's
literally cold and probably nothing much up there. So I
know there's a lot of members out in my neck of the woods out in Australia who always complain about lag times, and they always feel like they're missing out on drops and that because of lagging internet or stuff like that. So hopefully this system will give people a bit more of a fairer go at it.
Yeah.
So
maybe it'll give Australians an advantage.
Possibly.
Homer advantage.
I would know because I'm not there anymore, so I don't really care.
We'll have to check with T. Lewis.
That's it.
There you go. Yeah,
that's it.
To Evolve's point, I mean, now, especially if you got to wake up at 3 a.m. for this, you've got to wake up in that 25-minute span, right? And then you got to wait until the drop time to see if you actually got it. So it does kind of extend the process, but at least to Arcade's point is you don't have to worry about user error, which I had a lot of.
Yeah.
There's also some people that there was Clarissa, I think one other person that posted them the same thing, almost like Hinano, right? They got the buy now, they pressed the buy now, and they got kicked out. So there was a lot of that also. So I wonder how many people actually got it and not end up getting it because of something
like a transaction error or something.
Well, they had to do the human captcha where they have to pick something, and right after she was done with that, she got kicked out.
That's weird.
That's annoying.
Yeah. Bugs.
All of it sold out.
Yeah, they'll get it under wraps. That was the first
one.
It's a test.
It's all better
drafting experience, right?
Yeah, it was fun. It is better fun. Than the DC when I first did the first drop on DC when the Superman one came. The one for VeVe was way better than that because like you knew what place you were in on the DC one, but it was like 2 hours or whatever. And then like even if you refresh and you get you know, knocked down in line, so you're like a little bit ahead, you still wouldn't be able to find out until literally like 2 hours, and then by the time you get in, it was like just sold out already. I'm like, what the heck? Like we're always hopeful. So yeah, this one for VeVe, that was better than I was anticipating. Yeah, even though I didn't get anything.
It was still fun.
I think what just happened here today is just VeVe just took a really big step into the global domination of digital products. I mean, like literally since they have all this big IP, a lot of these countries haven't been able to participate in the Disney drops or any of these other big drops or like AF-15. That opens the door for all of them. That opens also the door for this extra liquidity now to come in, depending on how they market this stuff. But I think it's a really big win what happened today for VeVe. And the fact that everyone's watching them and, you know, people are saying they're dead and they really didn't have that much hiccups today just shows that really they're working in the background and they're just being quiet about it now, which I'm happy about.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Exactly. Sure. That's how I feel about it. No news is good news. I mean, this is their life's work. And you can tell they're really passionate. So I'm okay with not being all up in their business and knowing when this, when that, except when Nintendo. I want to know that. But other than that, I'm working in the background and they're showing it by search bar. They're showing it by when I see a new update on the app and just these little optimizations. And then something like this was like you said, a huge step. And I know the VeVeVerse is another huge step. Like, how do you guys feel about that? I mean, it did get delayed, right, until July, but that's another thing is the waitlist kept getting delayed too, but now it's finally here. And once it finally gets here, it's like, oh yeah, that wait, it felt bad when I was in it, but now it just goes away and you kind of looked forward. So I think VeVeVerse will be the same way. And that's going to be, I think it's going to be, like you said, Hinano, just a huge leap because I don't know any platform that has a working metaverse, right? I mean,
no.
VeVe wants to be first and best in that regard.
And since we're talking about metaverse, let me just jump in here because I've been saying this for almost a year now that VeVeVerse is here already. We are the VeVeVerse. This community is the VeVeVerse. We're on Twitter. We're on Discord. We were just on Arcade's stream, interacting with him, jumping on his live. That is the VeVeVerse. There is no VeVeVerse without us, right? If anything, Dan and Dave are just building a construct for us to participate in it. Now, when that construct gets built, I really think that's going to like turn heads because I think the social media aspect of this app or just metaverse in general will just blow Facebook and all these other guys out of the water. I mean, just imagine we do away with Facebook, Instagram, no more Discord, and we all just come together in a metaverse, right? Yeah. And you know, you can just do so much things in that metaverse. This metaverse can become a digital economy. There'll be TV shows, game shows in this metaverse. People, there'll be the social media aspect. There'll be dating in this metaverse. There's going to be jobs in this metaverse. And you're right. Like right now, everyone is trying to get into the metaverse business. You got Cryptoids. They're doing their thing. You know, and then you pair that with technology. Now, IP paired with technology is going to be massive. AI, we have ChatGPT. Imagine our collectibles talking back to us. It'd be crazy to talk to Darth Vader. Well, you know what? They're already trying to do that in these certain projects. So it's going to be huge, in my opinion. And this is just my opinion, not financial advice. I really believe the metaverse, what's going on now, is just going to be huge for the social media aspect of everything, and also any kind of economy going forward. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I totally agree. So I was just thinking, like, you know, if my collectibles could talk to me, I was just thinking, like, you know, what would Darth Vader say to me? It's like, so Darth, what do you think about this new place on my shelf for you? I find your lack of placement disturbing.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Try to force trick me.
You know, I was on a database. Whenever I edit music, you know, I go to this database and I get all my music. It's all royalty free. Well, now they're using ChatGPT, and I finally used it. And you know, I asked it just this crazy question: find me music that has some type of semblance to Bon Iver. If you guys ever listen to Bon Iver, and it found something like that. Like the match was 100%. It almost sounded like a carbon copy of Bon Iver I was hearing. Wow. Just stuff like that. Now take that and put that into a collectible. You know, like imagine your Knight Rider car talking to you like Kit and actually having a very long conversation. What if your car is talking to us on this stream right now? You know what I mean? It's possible with AI.
That'd be cool.
It's kind of crazy, guys. Yeah. Or am I just kind of like a dreamer?
Surprised to hear you talking about AI.
Well, I hate, by the way, I'm a legacy guy. I'm a guy that needs like a keyboard and a mouse, right? You know, that's the kind of person I am, but I'm not stupid. And I can see where the wind's blowing. That's what's happening here, guys. And so like, it's good for us. It's good for the space. It's good for the bags if you're that kind of person. But yeah, that's how I feel about the metaverse.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like, you know, there's some crazy stuff you can do, like, you know, with AI these days. I mean, you can see what VeVe Investments is pumping out, like with some of his content. I mean, like some crazy stuff he does with AI generated pictures. I mean, I just like scratch my head and just go, whoa. Yeah. Me, like I never played with it myself because I got no idea how it works, but you can definitely see the potential of where it could possibly go.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think what's super interesting is, so we're used to Darth Vader. Our interaction with Darth Vader is watching him on a screen, and he is following a script based on the character of the Lucas team and what they came up, and he's interacting with other people that we're not interacting with. Imagine when AI is able, in true character, he's able to interact with us. We're able to interact with him, right? We do something that makes him mad and he force chokes us or something. You know, it's like those are the experiences we're going to be able to have with these characters that is completely immersive for us and personalized to us. If you guys saw that video game where the guy was just talking to the AI character, and they were saying in GTA, you know, one day there won't be the same story for each person because it matters on what you do. And I always loved, if you guys have ever read those Goosebump books or How to Choose Your Own Destiny type things, where I loved those games because I wanted it to depend on what I chose. And that's what AI opens up. And it's going to be, David, you already said that it's going to happen in the VeVeVerse. So it's just nuts to me. Yeah. And the connections that are going to be, you know, you think you're a fan now because you watch somebody on TV. Imagine when you're actually interacting with them and you're able to ask them crazy questions that only you would ask and they give you answers. The attachment to these fandoms is going to be next level. So
yeah, I think that the metaverse, the VeVeVerse, gets me really excited. But I think that before we get to the point where we need these things talking back to us, because if I have my Darth Vader talking back to me, I would want him, if he's an AI, I would use him as an assistant. Like, set me a reminder to water my plants. Set me, you know, I would use them as a tool. And in order for me to use that, it would have to be a type of situation where I'm inside the VeVeVerse all day. You know, otherwise, and I think that we could get there and we are going to get there eventually. But I think that the gamification of the app almost needs to happen before the VeVeVerse in my eyes. Because that's something that even right now we should be implementing some type of Pac-Man game into our showrooms. A simple Marvel Mighty chess game that we could play or something. Because if they build out a VeVeVerse tomorrow and there's no tools like that, then there's nobody going to spend time in there.
Exactly.
You know, and people are going to stay on Twitter. I mean, I only got a Twitter because of VeVe. You know,
same.
I have a Spatial and they got a working metaverse. And I think that VeVe is going to be almost close to what Spatial is. And Spatial is really developing pretty quick. They're putting vehicles in their spaces. They're creating different types of games in there already. They're racetracks. They got DeLoreans in there. They got shopping carts you can race. It's crazy in there, right? Yeah. So I don't think that they don't have anything on VeVe just because VeVe has the user base. So they need to connect it to where were forced to go onto the metaverse, onto VeVeVerse, whether it be go join the waitlist in the VeVeVerse and get a 5% chance to actually get the drop. And then it'll give an incentive because people are not going on spatial right now. Nobody on VeVe is hanging out on spatial. So if VeVe releases a spatial, why would you go hang out there? You know, like, so I think that they do know what they're doing because we already have a social aspect to the app, right? We could post, we can't post videos yet, but hopefully one day we can start posting videos, start direct messaging people on the app. And I think that they know that's what gets me excited. The VeVeVerse gets me excited, and yeah, like Hinano said, being able to monetize off your showroom, you could charge people to come to your space. Maybe I hold the VeVe arcade in the VeVeVerse, and I need 5 OMI from everybody to come in and join the fun, right? So like
a door fee,
something like that is what we really need to really get. I mean, I'm excited already, but if they start dropping stuff like that, it's over. I mean, it's over. It's over.
Yeah. I mean, I completely agree as well. Like, you know, it's all good and all to build like, you know, this amazing environment, but you need to give people a reason to use it and get people in the door, but you got to get them to stay there as well. And I also recall because someone brought this up in one of the Wavy Wednesday episodes, is that they need to sort of like implement, like, you know, like you said, like, you know, some very basic games just to sort of keep people in there, like bring back the old school days of like Snake on your like mobile phone, or just something very basic, even a old school game of like Pong. Just to get people like just something very basic base level, really easy to throw together, just to give people a reason to stay there.
If I don't know if you guys buy Elmon X NFTs, but they have a beta app, and when you could, you know, that you download the app. And the app is not working yet. But when you go onto the app, it shows you a Galaga type game where you're flying an airplane, and there's a leaderboard. And I find myself on there every day playing the Galaga game because I want my name to be on top of the leaderboard. So, I mean, if we have, and they made it happen, and they don't even have an app ready. I think that VeVe has almost made us into flippers because there's nothing else to do but to jump onto the app and buy and sell. I mean, we need another reason to go in there.
That's it.
Right.
It'd be cool if you had like a spy hunter game when you open up the VeVe app and you're using your DeLorean or your Knight Rider and you're like, you know, racing other people in the app as well. Something like that would be pretty neat. You use the collectible as part of the gamification.
Yeah, or have like missions, like a scavenger hunt or something like that. Or like, you know, like because I recently just started playing Marvel Snap. And Marvel Snap all the time has like missions, like, you know, like play 3 cards or use this card to win a game or something like that. Maybe they had like, you know, some kind of gamification like that to implement in the app, like, you know, I don't know, like, you know, buy a common comic or something, or buy a low 3 gem ultra rare or something. Just something to give people a sense of competition or just a sense of fun.
And some kind of engagement.
Yeah, some kind of engagement.
I mean, initially there's going to be a lot of work ahead of them to actually implement everything that we're talking about, right? Right now we're just kind of like spitballing here, but yeah, I mean, I think sooner or later we'll get there, and I think it's also, I think it's good that we'll have multiple metaverses, not just VeVeVerse, because I think competition is good. Because who says nothing's wrong with like saying, okay, I'm going to go home to my VeVeVerse now, but then maybe I'll go work in DC NFT's Gotham City or something like that. You know, just the assumption.
And I think that, I'm sorry. And I think that the VeVeVerse or any metaverse that gets put out there into the world, it's going to be more of a website. So for example, if I show you guys my website today, it's just pictures on a computer, right? That's the web 2. But if I show you my website tomorrow, it's going to be a 3-dimensional space where you get to walk around and see other people, and I could hold events at my website. So I think that maybe we might start using it as tools to where McDonald's builds a metaverse. They won't call it a metaverse. They'll just call it, come join our experience. You go onto the McDonald's.com, and then you go join and you walk around in a 3-dimensional McDonald's, and you're playing games, and now you're in their metaverse without even knowing you're in the metaverse. Because I don't even think the metaverse is going to be a word that people are going to use. It's just going to be like a website.
Yeah, right. It's like every day.
Or experience.
It's like a video game.
Yeah.
That's how
or
I
video game. Come play our game. I like that. You know? Yeah.
I think that's how it needs to be too, because the masses just, if you can get them to do what they're already doing, but doing it in a new way. And of course, there's going to be new things that come from it. But like you said, with the 3D website, you could just be like, oh yeah, I'm going on Kid Arcade's website. I want to buy one of his paintings. And then you walk around in your actual museum store and click on it and say purchase, you know, and then it's integrated with, you can pay with crypto, you could pay with your credit card, you could pay with whatever. So I could see how the entire internet is changing into this. And or I'm gonna go to YouTube and watch this video, but I'm in this 3D theater where I'm watching
exactly.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's kind of just the next step of what we already have. Like what Hinano's saying, like we are in a form of a metaverse right now. This is just the 3D. You have the freedom to walk around instead of just your mouse, your cursor. It'll be your avatar. And then I'm really looking forward to be able to express myself in ways that I can't with words. So the way you put certain collectibles together, or based on what you have on your wall, whatever poster you have, Hinano, whatever posters you want to express yourself, you know, that's a great way of telling someone who you are without actually saying it or interacting with somebody. So it's going to
Ready Player One.
And right. And this is what people do with Instagram, right? All of their feed or their profile. When you go to their profile and you're looking through their pictures, you can kind of get a feel for who they are based on the pictures they post. Well, this is just another extension, more immersive way of doing that. So that's how I see it.
Next step.
Right.
Ownership too, right?
I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to see what you do, man, with your artwork and how that's going to create an economy inside of this space that people are going to come to, and all the eyes that will be on your work, and all of the other like content creators, artists, musicians. I mean, I've even seen what it's wonderful. What's his name?
NFT
Pineapple Game. What he does with what he does with his music.
Non-fungible wonderful.
Right.
Well, you could actually go to his studio and sample out his album before you buy it or something. Like it's just it's gonna be next level stuff, you know.
Next level.
Really cool. But how far is this out? This seems like a pretty far way out, 5-10 years, maybe longer.
But so long as they're going in the right direction, like, you know, even baby steps will get you somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's about getting it all to be like the normal thing for us to be immersed in the metaverse or a like website type deal, where it needs to be necessary. You know, like we all have jobs. We can't just spend our time there the entire time. It's a third place, like David you said. So I think it's just going to be another place where we can go and have fun on a website rather than it being on a computer. I don't know. More immersive. It's more immersive. That's all.
That's what those the tech, you know, the glasses, what those are supposed to do, right? Blur those worlds.
You know, this third place will one day turn into the first place. I just see it. Not now. And like I said, I'm pipe dreaming here, but like, you know, the third place is basically because we have home and work, right? But, you know, one day this is all going to kind of like culminate within home and work, where the third place will just be one whole place. These AR glasses, we're going to be able to, like, you know, interact with these in AR, wear our glasses, walk outside. I can just see people with glasses on doing this, like touching the air and stuff. Like, you know, I just see that happening. It's just, you're going to look like Tony Stark, right? Swan flies away. But I can just see that happening.
Yeah. Well, it is sort of already happening to a degree. Like, you know, you see these companies already coming out with like not just Apple, but with like the massive like sort of headsets. But they've also got the arm things. And I've even seen one company, I can't remember the name of it, but they've got like you basically strapped to a big metal treadmill, and it's like 360 like rotation. You basically running like on the spot, and you're like moving around, ducking, and it's a really sort of immersive experience. So, I mean, the tech is already starting to walk that sort of line already.
Yeah.
And once upon a time, this was high tech. Okay.
Yeah.
And then now we're here, you know. And at one time, from here to here, people thought we were nuts. oh, no one's going to go on the internet on their phones. A phone is to talk to people, right? Now there's like a walkie-talkie. And look where we are now. We're talking on view screens. So
yeah,
it's coming, guys.
Yeah. So everyone says it's impossible until somebody does it.
Exactly. And yeah, and it doesn't have to be much different than what we're doing now initially, you know? I mean, because you are going to be able to watch YouTube videos and stuff like that in there. We're already, I don't know if there's any vaultaholics in this room, but, you know, people just messing around with their vault. That's going to be your show place, but it's just going to be bigger and more freedom. And then I'm looking forward to, I love Twitter and what they're trying to do and all that, but like Arcade and a lot of other people, I made a Twitter just for VeVe. And
same.
you know, I put out a video a long time ago about it would be nice if VeVe made their app more like a social media platform. And so we didn't have to use Twitter and we didn't have to use TikTok and all these third-party apps. And they're kind of starting to do that, right? There was Medium, now it's on the VeVe blog. And you know they're going to integrate their website into the VeVeVerse. So I'm looking for them to be that one place that we can get everything surrounding VeVe. That way we don't have to go to all these different sites. And that just makes the platform more stable too, because, you know, we're seeing it with Wire. You know, Wire's down, so now VeVe's affected. The more VeVe can take control into their own hands, which is a super hard to do, but you know, the more they can do that, the more stable the platform becomes.
That's right. They got less points of failure.
Yeah, at least
I got a
that aren't their
question.
fault.
Yeah, I got a question for you guys, just to kind of top off on this.
Yeah, do it.
So now that we're talking about, you know, the VeVeVerse and you know what we hope they're going to do with all this, we need to populate the place, right? Now already we can tell that the crypto people have left. Yeah, their foot's in the door. I know they're still here, but like in terms of them, you know, 100% behind the project, they're really not, right? Because of the fact that we don't have interoperability, and that's another conversation for another time.
Yeah.
But I'm not counting on the crypto people because, and here's a good example. We went and saw Across the Spider-Verse last night. The entire theater was packed. And if we didn't get our tickets a week before, we would have never gotten a seat. So now encompass that. Imagine all the movie theaters around the globe. The entire theaters are probably packed. And they're packed with who? Fandoms. The fandoms will come into this. Once fandoms figure out what's going on, I mean, like, here's a good example. Like, I buy all kinds of stuff. I mean, like, this shit right here cost me like almost $100. No one would buy this, but I did, right? Now, times that by a million other people in fandoms out there that find this app, understand what a digital collectible is. And that's the standard now. If you go around, look at Cryptoys, digital collectibles. Look at DC NFT. They're not calling them NFTs. They're calling them digital collectibles, right? So, to me, the fandoms haven't even been tapped yet. And when fandoms understand what this is, because they understand technology, I think sooner or later, when they're educated with this space, they'll come in the fandoms. And there are so many fandoms out there. I mean, everyone gives me crap because I'm the Battlestar Galactica guy. But you know how much people are actually in that fandom? There's millions of them. They're just not here, right? You know? Or Trekkies, right? Nobody likes the Star Trek stuff, but there's lots of them out there. Amongst other people, Dragon Hunter, or even like, you know, Happy Tree Friends, right?
Yep.
Yeah. That's why I think we'll fill in the spots here, the spaces, is all the fandoms.
I agree.
What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I agree.
I think that VeVe is creating fandoms as well. You know, a lot of people that weren't into comics are into comics. A lot of people that never collected Disney are not collecting Disney. And we're all excited about it. And I think that we're just creating a whole new fandom here too. So that's exciting as well.
Or they're reigniting old fandoms as well. Like I like me myself. I mean, like I stopped collecting for years before I found VeVe, and all of a sudden I find myself like, you know, buying things in the app, researching like, you know, different comic book characters, like dates and all sorts of different stuff like that. It also it reignites old fandoms that, like, you know, were lay dormant in yourself, and also leads to different social interactions as well. Like, you know, there might be people who find like it difficult or find themselves like as like a recluse and find it difficult to deal with other people, and then all of a sudden you're in a room with everybody who shares the same views and the same fandom as you do. Like, you know, it's a really what's the word, liberating experience.
I think this is going to help a lot of children growing up And let me give an example. When I was growing up, I'm a big X-Men fan. So like in 6th grade, and I remember this vividly, we used to pretend to be our favorite X-Men. And so I pretended to be Wolverine, right? You know, but we were teased as nerds, as geeks, because your social aspect, wherever you're living, and I live on a small island in a small town. So it's like, none of that made you cool. You know, what made you cool was playing football, playing basketball. You know what I mean? You know, like beating people up after school behind the benches. That made you cool. Not pretending to be Wolverine. But now with VeVe, these kids are gonna find people like us because we can all relate to the fandoms, right? They're gonna find, you know, other kids, and they're gonna feel welcome. They're not gonna feel like they're like, you know, distant from other people. Because, like, you know, don't get me wrong, I felt a little bit distant from some people when I was growing up.
You nerd.
Exactly, right? Nerds. But now, you know, it's like, it's going to be better for these kids. I think, I don't know. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Definitely agree with that.
I think that's a great point, man. And, you know, I'm a testimony of how, like, I didn't have a Marvel fandom. I didn't have a Star Wars fandom. And now I'm watching these movies for the first time. And then if I try to talk to some friends about it, it's like, oh, I'm not really into that. You know, this is not what we built our friendship on. But I can come to the VeVe community and instantly connect with dozens of people and kind of scratch that itch, right? In terms of, I see these movies, I'm blown away by it, and I want to talk about it. And that's what we're all doing for each other, is we're able to talk about it together. And that is going to be really huge for kids who don't have a sense of belonging, because, you know, the society has a certain cookie cutter way of doing things. But when you come online, you can find that niche of people that you can go connect with and feel like you belong, and then not trying to make everybody go to college and get a 9-to-5 job. You know, there are artists out there, there are musicians out there, there are people who their brain works differently, and they are able to create beautiful things that people enjoy, and now find those people that would buy it because we have this forum online. And so now you can be doing your art and then trying to sell it at a street fair, and nobody in your community jives with it, but then you can go online and post it, and then you've got dozens of people that are really interested in commenting on your stuff, saying that's awesome work, man, keep it up. Think about the two trajectories in terms of, like, the person who gets encouraged and supported versus the person who gets shut down, and now they got to kind of retreat to a cubicle job just to, you know, fit in with the crowd. So like this is opening up a whole new way of connecting people around the world.
Well, that's it. Connecting.
We're doing it now.
Exactly.
Yeah, true.
Well, that's it. Well, between all of us, we're basically all over the world.
With Web 2, Web 3, we've been able to connect with everyone. So within an instance, we can sell to another collector that actually wants something special to them, or vice versa, whatever.
That's it. And just going back to that point about, like, you saying, like, you know, if you're on, like, you know, you're trying to sell your art, like, to someone down the street, and, well, you jump online and you're selling to the entire world.
Yeah,
exactly.
I hear a lot about, you know, I watch Gary Vee quite a bit, and he talks about going to a garage sale, buying little hidden treasures, and then posting it on Amazon. And there's a reason that's a business, or there's a reason that people are able to do that as a hustle, because nobody in your community valued that. And especially the person that had it, they're like, let me just throw it on my driveway and hope somebody takes it for $1 or $2. And then you can take it and sell it for $15 because there's a demand for it somewhere. And that's what online does.
Yeah, that's the power of online.
Yeah. And now we're seeing, Amazon and eBay are coming to this space too. What are you guys' thoughts on that? That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.